Over on team 2, we got ourselves Captain Huge with a fantastic transmog. Infinity as an Affliction Warlock, not going to be first up. It's going to be Corel's. On the team, we got ourselves Belly as the Fury Warrior, as well as Pi, the Destruction Warlock. Lexup immediately by Corel's. Sham is going to have a bit of a hard time. Did I queue you guys? Did I queue the same people again? Or did I think I might have queued the wrong people. Yeah, I meant to queue the other team, but I guess we're just going to like run through this, yeah? That's my fault, boys. That is my fault. But it's going to be Corel's taking a lot of damage from Shamchart here. Bloodlust to follow, taking quite a big hit. Massive LA Blast right after in-cap to follow. Corel's eating a lot of pressure from the enhancement Shaman. The guy's just struggling to see if he keeps himself alive, rotating through the defenses little by little. It's going to go for a bit of a wait, that's a lot of damage taken. Thunder to follow. Shamchart may actually go down here. Karma turn around. Wait, Corel actually, oh my god, turn it around quick. Oh my goodness. Well done. Well done. Miz is going to be up next as a Shadow Priest this time around. Fury to follow. Trying to see if he go for the big PI. Mad damage is going to get the Mindbender chasing after Corel's is going to try to go for a bit of a damage of his own. What kind of a setup are you playing into? He's got himself a stun around the corner. Void Eruption. Trying to see if he can maximize damage into Corel's. He's trying to see if it can be a float over there. Ring of Peace is going to boop him out of the way. At least does not go falling off the platform. With the slow down from the Siphon, it is fantastic. Definitely going to have to get himself another stun, or maybe if you're into Corel's and then maximize all the dots and let Monk kind of run away while melting to all that pressure. Corel's got plenty of mobility, so he's definitely going to utilize it as much as possible in order to get advantage over Miz. And Miz just trying to see if he can get himself a proper angle. Root to follow. Void Torrent. The guy trying to see if he can dispel it. Trying to see if he can reverse the dots back onto Miz, but it's going to throw him in a horror effect for just a second. Interrupt onto Miz for just a moment. If Miz can go in for a couple of casts like Mind Flay, oh my god, Mind Flay and all those dots are actually putting so much pressure together. Shadow Priest is a very, very different beast now. Normally when they're Mind Flaying, yeah, they usually just like use it as a filler ability, but now Mind Flay, especially Insanity Mind Flay, actually deals quite a substantial amount of damage. Miz going over the fear, doesn't go for defensive yet, trying to make sure he doesn't get interrupted though. Stun onto Corel's, fully has him dotted up, may just have to go for extra defenses, just trying to see if he can cut the guy out as best as possible. It is going to be Soothing Mist around the corner, does get the VT onto the pet as well. It's going to be Corel's leaping back in. Miz got himself plenty of defenses though, with a bit of the Empirical Brace, could go for a bit of a shielding as well. Fade for just a moment, I think, trying to see if he can dodge Corel's attacks. Interrupt available for the Monkus, trying to see if he can find a good angle. There goes the healing right now, and Miz does himself the power word life, so he can always bring himself back up from any kind of danger, as long as he can actually get a cast off. And especially if that cast crit, it could be a massive health recovery. A big kicks by Corel, as the man still got a lot of pressure. Interrupt available again, so Miz trying to be extra careful. Might just be a dispersed player right here. Does have a stun coming back up though, together with PI very, very soon. Corel does not have a trick, and so if Miz can just give himself a little bit of a breather, full stun, full damage on Corel, trying to go for a bit of a heal, might just have to go for PI here, maybe go counter offensive. The man just needs to capitalize some damage here at some point, together with a PI. Use stun maybe a little early. Fiora into Corel, does he go for the big dam? Trying to see if he can keep the VT going. PI available, but I think might have actually given it away too far, too early. Corel is definitely just going to play it super defensive, or maybe going to charge in, pop a defensive, and just see if he can capitalize the pressure onto Miz. As Miz trying to see if he can stay away from the guys best possible. Burning a trigger pretty early on. Does have a stun coming back up, but not soon enough. Trying to go for a bit of healing. Does get juked out. Mind control onto Corel is going to be able to pull him away from his side for a second. And Miz just uses himself a little bit more healing though. Ring a piece right after. Corel does not have an interrupt. Fury to follow. Does have a stun back up. Corel does not have a trinket anymore. Right now, you might just have to go for a stun and big damage, potentially. Just trying to see if he can back away. Void Torrent is not going to be enough, though. Does end up dispelling the dots. Back into Miz. Massive kick to follow. Does have a tentacle on him. Big Void Eruption available. Does Corel have any more defensive? Could go for a Karma right here. Fade for a second. As Miz trying to see if he can fade that Karma. Silencer for Corel has a Karma. Miz needs to play defensive with heal. Touch of Death is going to end up claiming him, though. Does not want to give this man an opportunity to recover whatsoever. With the grapple hook out of Jal to follow cheap shot onto Corel. So far, this monk has been able to stand toe-to-toe with all these boys, though. Against the Shaman, against the Shadow Priest, especially with all the new changes that all these classes have gotten. So Corel is definitely holding his own on the front here. With Jal's trying to see if he can deny him any kind of reset. The monk does have plenty of mobility though. Literally some of the best mobility in the game. Leg sweep onto that killing spree does end up taking away some damage as well as a defensive out of Jal. Into a knockback to follow. He's just trying to see if he can find himself a bit of cover, a bit of a recovery, and maybe wait until cooldowns are available. Does have a pretty big defensive right now in case you want to use it versus Jal. It is going to be a pretty long cooldown though, but he may just have to burn it really early here. Unless he wants to Forbear maybe? Stun, Trinket out of this one. Might be a dampen harm situation. Blind to follow his girls. Try to see if he can build up some damage. Jal may just want to, I was gonna say reset, but instead he's just gonna get back in there, putting pressure onto Corel's pretty early on, forcing the Monk to go for an in-cap, but still trying to look for that recovery as Jal just building calm points, potentially might have a defensive here. If he's got an evasion, then he's actually in a perfect spot. There goes the disarm. Corel's trying to see if he can end the duel right now. Cloak of Shadows for Jal. Does he have an evasion on top of it? I think might be an evasion. That or a Cloak of Shadows that deals with physical damage, gives it that full evasion as well as immunity to physical damage, which may be the case. Belly trying to see if he can maybe go for a big Stormbolt on the Jaw. Is going to be enough though. It's going to be a Disarm, Fury to follow. Jaw needs himself an escape. Does not have advantage for a good while right now. Is going to go for a gouge of the Belly. Has a Zerkers. Get a shot. Force a Chicken out of him. But trying to see if he can stay within the range of Belly. Not to give him a charge until you have a grip. But it's going to be a big charge to follow. Shot us up for a second. Big execute does it. I'm taking him down with a massive rampage. Now charging in. Trying to see if he can shatter through Belly's defenses. Belly just needs to ramp up a little bit here and take down Nalx. There goes a big bleed onto Belly. We'll just have to maybe play defensive on this one. Maybe a situation where he wants to use Enrage Regeneration. And there it goes. Bloodthirst. Every single one of them is going to help you recover, especially Impending Victory. Every single one of those you can use as well is also going to help you out a ton. Big leap by Nalx. Houses himself a parry, trying to make sure he does not let Belly escape whatsoever. Belly still can go at least for Bloodthirst back to back, but I don't really know. Unless he got himself big heals right now, I think Nalx just might end up taking you down right now. He got that anti-healing playstyle with that Mortal Strike. Fear, nothing out of it. Nalx does end up slamming you down. Together with Captain Huge, gonna be up next. Reflect up for Nalx. Captain trying to see if he can maximize that Stormkeeper damage potentially. He is an elemental shaman, so possibly, if you got a Seerstone in particular, gonna be a light lasso onto Nalx as Captain Huge trying to go for a Stormkeeper. Nalx does not have a defensive for this one, I don't think, unless you got a Reflector around the corner, and you'll be able to reflect only one of these zaps. There's gonna be a Root around the corner. Nalx needs something right here, right now. Charge is gonna be able to pick up a little bit of health. Warbreaker onto Captain, but the manager is gonna be able to zap you down, taking you out. And our Agrosian? Aggro-Asian? Is that what it is? Aggro is going to be up next as Captain trying to see if we go for a bit of a Frost Shock to a bash. Aggro just going in for big damage on the ones and surges. Oh my goodness, Aggro is going full aggro. Look at this guy go. Big charges trying to see if he can stay on top of Huge. The man got a wall. Grounding Totem is going to be able to take at least one of the Star Surges back to him. The man just barraging him with the powers of Arcade. He just wished to win this duel, and those wishes are coming true. Literally shooting stars firing out of this man's hands. Captain trying to see if he can get himself a bit of recovery, dropping down a healer totem. That's going to be a knockback by aggro, but doesn't really able to get himself a proper lockdown onto Captain. Does go for the root around the corner, not letting the guy go anywhere. Lasso, trinkets out of it immediately, just looking to get some dots onto Captain. The man trying to see if he can maximize the pressure onto aggro, and this is where aggro is playing defensive. He does have himself Heart of the Wild, so may have to use a bark skin. Is it going to be enough though? Captain uses himself just a couple more procs, and he should be in a decent enough spot. Got himself Stormkeeper. Aggro, better be careful. That Stormkeeper is going to be deadly. Does not have a silence or anything. Does not want to go for the Heart of the Wild just yet either. So just try to see if you can use the mobility as well as bear form. Taking the hits of that Stormkeeper into the bear form with a quick root to follow onto Captain. Trying to see if you can deny him any pressure. I think he's just going to wait out until the lightning fades from the man's beefy taurine hands. Aggro, does he have cooldowns though? So it's really difficult to track your Incarnation. Because like Incarnation, it's kind of like wings. It basically on the cooldowns it says it's always available, but that's not always true. Bash on the Captain, can't really go anywhere, can't even knock back aggro at all though. It's gonna be back-to-back Star Surges, has himself Lava Burst ready. Does it take him down right here? Light the last to fall out. Oh my god, that spin! He felt like he was like, you know what, I'd win. I 100% win that one. I like that little twirl at the end, man, the twirl of confidence. But aggro was doing some pressure. I feel like if that duel was going in without any kind of dampener, that might have been a whole nother story.